Watch Game Kings, The Definition of Game, documentary by joining the Bad Boy membership. Go to badboymembership.com right now and be one of the first people to watch this movie. Official release date, Black Friday, November 27th, 2020. All right, so what up? It's your boy, Mr. Lucario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, I was having this discussion about, charging girls to the game really quickly, getting rid of girls when they're not complying with what you want to do, right? And so, you were saying that some guys may feel like they can't do that. Is that what
yeah, I think that a lot of men and a lot of women might say, I can't just be charging people all the time because, one, I'll run out of options, and two, maybe I don't date that way. So I'm thinking about someone you were talking to the other day who was having a hard time. How do I say this? He did a lot of like back and forth. How was your day? How was your day? What kind of work do you do? Where do you live? Right, all this back and forth from dating apps.
Right.
And he was feeling frustrated because he felt like he wasn't moving forward with anybody.
Right.
But he also had this attitude, and I believe this might be from you, of, oh, well, I'm just going to charge her.
Right.
Right? And sometimes they were for reasons, like, you and I were like, well, maybe he should have thought of doing that sooner, or he's charging people for the wrong reasons. But I feel like he had this attitude about, like, oh, well, I'll just charge her for like, if I'm in a bad mood or something.
Right. No, well, the thing is this. It's not just the thing where you're saying, oh, well, this girl, she coughed, so I'm going to, like, charge her the game. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that...
There has to be a reason and consistency around it.
Right. There has to be a reason based off of your standards. Right. That's all it is. But also, too, the thing is, you have to be the type of person also who is a guy who actually has something to offer as far as you being somebody who is bringing value. So what it is that the reason why you're charging them to the game is because they're not living up to the standard that's equal to them getting what you would be giving them. So for example, like let's say I'm a guy who...
But will they recognize that?
But that's the key. If they don't recognize it, that's not your fault. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to waste time waiting for someone to recognize it. They should recognize it. And if they don't recognize it, that's on them. You see what I'm saying? And I'll just move on to somebody else who does recognize it. That's all. And see, so the thing is, let's say if, I'm a guy who, I'm on point. I know a lot of things. I'm a guy who's consistent. I'm a guy who is, I'm a cool guy. I actually, do a lot of different things. I help people like I'm just an overall guy who is a good person. I bring value to
date.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm that type of guy. So now I'm interacting with a woman and I'm expecting her to do something as simple as meet me for a date we already set. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So if she does not do that, then why would I continue to deal with her when I can just actually get with someone who's going to meet me on the date? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that the problem with a lot of guys is that they don't think there's enough abundance out there for them to get the situation that they're looking for. So they settle for situations. And what happens is that based off of how you're coming at the interaction, it says a lot about your self-esteem. So what happens is that if you're a person who has low self-esteem, then what you're going to do is you're going to accept behavior that goes with the type of, with your self-esteem. Is going to go with what you feel you deserve. You see what I'm saying? And so when I try to teach guys I try to teach guys, look, hey, understand your value, right? And then you will be that valuable guy. And then what's going to happen is that you only reward women with your presence and with dealing with you who is actually doing the things that they need to do to get to fuck with you.
And
you see what I'm saying?
For people who don't live in in an area of the world where there's lots of options, right? Like people who will get to the end, right? If you're swiping on a dating app, they actually get to the end and they're like, okay, there's no one else in your area.
Right.
Right? I worry about people like that saying, well, I just, there literally isn't an abundance, right? I do have to settle in some areas, or...
But you don't. But you're not delegated.
nobody.
You're not delegated to just your area. You can move around. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, is that an option for...
Yes. It's not hard to go to different places and different areas. Like,
But if you're setting the distance for, 25 miles, right? You're like, this is how far I can drive. Like, I can drive, let's say, I live out in the country. I can drive for, let's say I want the radius to be about an hour drive, right? And then I'm consistently charging people because they, didn't show up the first time or, something that might be easier for, like, those of us who have an abundance.
But see, that's what I'm saying. The mindset is the thing. If you're thinking you don't have an abundance,
Then you don't.
Right, because it's there already. It's not like, well, I live on Earth and you're on Mars somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We're on the same planet. So you can travel wherever. Like, even if, let's say, for example, there's only a large amount of people 2 hours away from where you're at. Let's say you live in some countryside somewhere. There's hardly nobody around.
Right.
But in a 2-hour drive or whatever, there's a city or whatever that there's going to be a lot of women there, right? So you can get on your dating apps, set your location for those cities, swipe, interact with women there, set shit up for those places.
Shit with people who don't flake.
Right. Well, also, but this is the thing. You don't even know if they're going to flake or not. But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this: is that you set up a situation in those cities. Go get an Airbnb. Go there for a weekend or a week, however much time you have, right? And then go and date and interact with those women at that time. This is what I'm saying. Like, you figure out how to do it.
Let's make it a dating weekend.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And I like how you're saying, well, you kind of have to think outside the box, right? Like, if you sit there and you say, I have a lack of abundance, I have to settle, then that's true.
Right.
And if you sit there and you're like, actually, I could drive 2 hours, I could, set a weekend of, like, back-to-back dates.
Exactly.
And make it work, right? Because I deserve that.
Right.
And I'm God to these hoes, right?
No, listen. Let's say a guy does this for a month, like every weekend for a month. That's four times. He goes every weekend, and let's say he set up 6 dates those weekend. Out of those 6 dates, let's say 4 of them flaked, and he had 2 dates each time, right? And then so 2 dates each weekend. That's 8 dates. Let's say half of those women fall off. He has now 4 women that he's fucking with that he can interact with and go there, spend the weekend, or have them come to his spot or whatever. And now he's making stuff happen. So what I'm saying is that you can find the women who's going to do those things, but you actually have to be at a point where you believe and you feel that you can make it happen. But the problem is this: is that we talk about people charging people to the game too quickly. The thing is that people have, a lot of times, and this goes for women also too, but
I wanted to bring that
but
up.
men, I'm speaking to men on this channel or whatever, but the thing is, guys are so used to whack-ass treatment from women that becomes the norm, and then that becomes what they deal with. So I would rather a guy go through 50 women to get 1 or 2 who's going to be compliant, who's going to be submissive, who's going to be agreeable, than to waste a bunch of time going back and forth with girls who are iffy all the time. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
and don't respect him. Exactly.
This is the thing that you got to understand is that when you're dealing with people and you don't hold yourself to a high standard, what happens is that you're going to attract people who are not high quality, because you're basically saying I'm not high quality because I'm going to deal with the nonsense. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, and also too, what happens is that when you get experience, you'll experience women who are not going to ask you a bunch of damn questions before they come meet you. You're going to experience women who are going to want to have sex with you on the first, second date. You're going to experience women who are going to be compliant and submissive. You're going to experience women. So once you start experiencing that, you're like, wait a second, why the fuck am I even going back or dealing with women who are not doing that? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's like freaking just like I don't like to say common sense, but it's common sense. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and like you said, once you started to experience it, like the way you will cut someone off for reasons that some of us would think are reasonable to, not show up for a date.
Right. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm also saying too, is that you got to think about it like this. That person you're cutting off wouldn't have gotten cut off if they were giving you the highest level of treatment. Because trust and believe, that same person who is flaking, or that same woman who's acting all iffy, there's a guy she's going to meet or a guy she's met that she was not doing that with.
Right.
So this is what I'm saying. Why am I going to be the guy who is waiting in the wings and dealing with her wishy-washy bullshit when there was a guy, or there will be a guy, who she's not going to do that with? And this goes for every fucking woman. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? It's like so the thing is, because I know this, because I'm that guy in some of these situations, then what I'm saying is become that guy in all the situations. So when you encounter a woman and she's on some bullshit, be like, well, listen, I know better than this. I know that if you were into me extremely with high interest, you wouldn't be doing this. Because I have experience with other women who had high interest in me who did this. So a lot of these guys, because they haven't experienced that ever, you understand what I'm saying?
Right. Hard to believe in abundance.
Exactly.
You've always experienced scarcity.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I'm trying to get guys to get to that point where they're like, yo, like, I'm not with the bullshit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not with the bullshit no more. You see what I mean? And so that's the thing, is that, and again, you're never going to run out of women. Like I did a video about this other day. There's always fucking women all over the place. There's always a bunch of...
Is it Steve the Dean who says... Oh, I don't remember who says this, sorry. About women turning 18 every
year. Yeah, he said that in the Game Kings documentary. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying, where there's always more, and there's always an abundance, but it's up to the guy to see and realize that he's worth more and more valuable than dealing with the bullshit. Because again, women, see, I always look at it. I look at it like this. When I'm dealing with a girl, I look at it as an insult for her to
not show up.
And disrespectful. I'm like, that's disrespectful. It's an insult, and so I don't fuck with you because I feel like you're basically insulting me. You understand what I'm saying? So because I know better, I know how women act when they are actually really interested in the guy, and I know how women act when they're wishy-washy and bullshitting and fucking around.
There's a detail that's interesting to me also, that you say, you're just not going to mess with her. Mm. You do it in a way that's not disrespectful. It's just like, I'm just not doing this because I'm better than that.
Right.
And I feel like that's also important, because if you talk about showing up as your best you, or however you say it, like showing up as like someone worth dating, then maintaining positive energy is also part of that, just in your life, in your dating world. Well,
yeah, but also too, this actually helps the girl out, because so now we're not wasting time. Like I saw a quote or something the other day that said, if two people are not on the same page and they're dealing with each other, they're basically wasting time.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm trying to do A, B, and C, and you're trying to do D, E, and F, then why should we continue?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, go find a guy you want to do A, B, and C with. You see what I'm saying?
But again, not showing up to the situation in a rude or disrespectful way.
No, I'm not talking about disrespect. But
and
again,
I think that does come off, and I think that hinders some men when they're like, oh, well, you're full of shit, and I'm not going to mess with you because you suck. Right? Like, putting that energy out there into your dating life actually can bring back negative energy.
Right. I mean, well, she is full of shit, but what I'm saying is...
I agree, but what I'm saying is you
you don't
calling her out on it and putting, like, negative energy.
You don't want to be, like, butthurt about nothing. I'm just saying that, but what I'm saying is understand that is a thing where, it is a full of shit type of situation, which is, again, why you shouldn't deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? Because if she was interested, she wouldn't be fucking, going back and forth, making it a big issue, like doing all this extra shit. And again, and I said this a million times because what I always hear when women, I talk to women about this, and they're like, oh, but there's all these other factors, and I need to get to know a guy, and yada, 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 and oh, I'm not like that, and this and this and that. And so women are either being disingenuous or they're just not aware. And usually I think it's the first thing most of the times because I don't believe women are that stupid. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that because I believe that women aren't idiots, then that all that means is that they're full of shit when they're doing those things. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the point. So what I'm saying is, why am I going to indulge in a person doing that when I know that they know better and they know if they was really into the situation, then they would be acting differently. You see what I'm saying? But again, women, y'all like attention. I get it. Y'all like for a guy to sort of like be around and do all this extra shit. I get it. All I'm teaching guys is to not be that guy. You understand what I'm saying? Trust me, there's plenty of guys that's going to be betas, and there's going to be guys that women could walk all over, and there's going to be plenty of guys who don't got game. I get it. I'm just trying to teach guys to actually have game and respect themselves. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because
I'm just like, yo, like if I know a woman is going to see, this is what happens. This is where it fucks up. All a woman needs to do is one time basically cooperate with a man fully, and then it's over for any other woman that man comes into contact with if he's smart. Meaning, once he's experienced that, like, if a dude is like, let's say a guy, he's been having a hard time with women, whatever, and then he's like, he meets some girl and then she's super cooperative, super attentive, they have sex, probably even on the first date or whatever, and he's like, damn, like,
that happens?
That happens, right? You see what I'm saying? And so now, let's say if I'm coaching that guy, right? And let's say he even forgot or he's not even paying attention. I'd be like, hey, have you ever been in a situation where a woman just was really cooperative? She made it easy for you and everything. He's like, oh yeah, it was that one time. Exactly. That should be your standard.
You don't think he'll imagine it was just that girl?
No. But that's what I'm saying.
That situation.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I want him to understand that it's not just that girl because it's not just her. You understand what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is that it happens lots and lots of other times. You see what I'm saying? It happens frequently. You see what I mean? And what I'm saying is that what most guys don't get is that they think because of their experience that women are not like that. They think women are, I gotta, get to know her a long time. It's gonna take a while, yada yada yada. Right. I'm trying to get them to understand that no, that's not the case.
Right.
The case is the opposite. It's just that this is what you've been experiencing because this is what you've been responding to and accepting. Yes, this is what I'm saying. And that's the whole thing. Dudes just accept it. And that's why it keeps happening. If a mass majority of dudes was really doing this shit, like kicking chicks to the curb and all that when the shit wasn't popping off, the whole game would switch up. You understand? Women are running this whole shit. Because y'all basically, well, on the front end, I would say, y'all are running the whole shit on the front end because y'all got so many guys who just want to have sex. So y'all got these goofy dudes jumping through hoops to deal with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But I'm trying to tell these guys, hey, listen, you guys got to step your shit up and stop fucking around. But that's all I got to say on that.
I mean, there's another point, and maybe this is better for another conversation.
No, go ahead.
But there's... I believe this happens to men. There's a woman in my life who's very dear to me, who recently got back into dating, and she does have this attitude that I'm such a catch. I'm not going to mess with anyone if he's below my standards. My concern for her is that her standards, to me, seem unrealistic, where she's dismissing people for reasons that, I'm trying to explain. Maybe you should look more broadly and be less narrow, because if you really want to find people that you connect with well, what is it, like 2 or maybe 3 deal breakers, and beyond that...
Well, let me ask you a question. Is this woman in great shape.
I'm not, the reason I bring this up.
No, what I'm saying, yes or no?
The reason I bring this up is because of, I believe that men hit this problem too, right? So
No, I feel like men aren't hitting that problem enough. I mean, or not problem enough, but they're not looking at it that. See, this is the thing. This is the difference.
So there's a spectrum, right?
There's a difference, right? Because what I'm saying is that a woman could say, yes, I'm a great catch or whatever, but are you the great catch? This is what I said earlier about the guy. I said that the guy still also has to be on point.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
So I think if you're giving advice to men, it might be helpful to say, what makes you as a man a great catch? Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm teaching. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So when dudes are up there, see, part of what makes you that dude is not only that value that you bring, but it's also how you're acting in relation to dealing with a woman. So how can I be a great catch if I'm running after a chick who's flaking? How can I be a great exactly? How am I a great catch, or how am I a guy who's on point if I'm allowing a woman to disrespect me over and over again? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying for the woman, it's like, how are you a great catch if you're not really that in shape? You probably got a bunch of kids. You understand what I'm saying? You're getting older. All these different things that cause it for you to not be the great catch. Now, you can improve yourself to get to the point where you're more of a great catch to mass people. But again, like I said, for each party, it's not only demanding a certain level of respect in the situation, but you also have to provide that same level of value and respect when you're dealing with the person.
Nice.
And that's the key. So what I'm saying is that I'm telling, men that understand, if you are that guy, there's no way in hell you should be dealing with any bullshit with some woman who's on some goofy ass nonsense.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no way in hell.
And my point is, part of being that guy is not being a jerk when people flake on you or when people bring energy.
Yeah, but nobody's talking about being a jerk. You're just talking about being. See. I think sometimes we're thinking about being an asshole or a jerk in the sense of being honest, because there's a difference between being a jerk and being honest. Being honest is, okay, this woman's full of shit because she's trying to act like she has to do this in order for this to happen. Right. Being a jerk is, fuck you, bitch, you cunt, don't. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm so much better than you.
Right.
I don't need you.
Exactly. You suck. You stupid.
I'm so much better.
Right. You're whack, and that's being a jerk.
And yes, you are so much better than someone who's going to act whack. But part of being better is maintaining your good attitude.
Right. No, I agree.
So I think, and this is something that I think you and I both do, is if somebody flakes, we just keep it moving, right? We don't put any negative energy into it. We don't send any mean messages. We're just like, all right, keep it moving. I'm better than even the negative energy that I could put towards someone.
Exactly. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, I don't want to let this video get too long, but yeah, guys, just don't put up with the nonsense, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. All right, we out. Peace.
Click the link below and get your bad boy gear. Get the t-shirts, Submissive Women Are Sexy, Binary as Fuck, and I'm God to These Hoes. Click the link below to get your bad boy gear today. Now, before you go, click the link below and go to badboymembership.com. Now, badboymembership.com is a place where you go to get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Listen, I know you're tired of being rejected. Go to badboymembership.com. I know you're tired of being afraid to approach women. Go to badboymembership.com. I know you're tired of not getting the women that you want. Go to badboymembership.com. Listen, I know you're tired of being alone on a Friday night. Go to badboymembership.com. Now picture this. You'll go from not getting what you want when it comes to you dealing with women to actually getting what you want, to being the guy women want to be with, women want to date, women want to have sex with. All you need to do is go to badboymembership.com, follow the steps, learn the game, implement the game, and then you will get the woman you want. Make sure you go to badboymembership.com today. Click the link below.